Welcome everybody. How we doing? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new. Thanks for coming. We're back. And it's now 2024. Crazy, right? All of a sudden, new year. And we're gonna ring it in with a little pain and punishment in the form of demon souls. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a nice day. I know I am, because we're streaming this and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna get right back into it. Right from where we left off. Man, that railing is like that railing is like fuck your sword. God damn. I'm almost dead. Let's see if we can get a weapon that gets along a little bit better with railings. Big old long swords apparently are not compatible with railings. You ever want to match up a railing with something? Do not match it up with a longsword or a claymore or anything of that nature. They will not get along. In fact, any tight, confined spaces generally are not going to get along well with swords, long swords, or anything like that. Maybe a dagger or a katana, because they're curved and they can kind of curve around when they hit something. They kind of slide off a little bit better, I think. But yeah, regular long swords and claymores. Oh man, I fell off of that last time. Yo, Bill Bones, what's up, man? Welcome and welcome to 2024. Ready or not, here it is. Ready or not, we are charging ahead. All ahead, full steam and full power. You ready for it? Yeah, I do like this time of year because everything has calmed down. Yo, what's up, Guero? Yeah, shout out to the fan club. Everything has kind of slowed down. The mad rush of games and the holidays has died down. And so now we're pretty much just playing what we have. So now's a good time to just sort of go through the library and the existing games, and yeah, it's a good time to kind of just catch up. And then I also like how games that maybe weren't like a huge hit and didn't get tons of recognition and a whole bunch of sales, I like how they now have sort of time to shine, especially now it's like during reward season. And so now the games that kind of got maybe overlooked, they get a little bit more room to breathe. So it's good for games and good content to be appreciated properly. Where did those emotes come from? I have no idea. Maybe YouTube is pulling out all the stops for this year. Guardians of the Galaxy is free on Epic. Yeah, and that's about as much as you should be paying for that game. That Guardians of the Galaxy, boy. I do not want to play that again. Definitely not. You liked it? Yeah. What did you like about it? Tell me. Let me know your opinion. Everyone has got different opinions. Everyone has the right to their opinion. What I didn't like was just the combat encounters. You're basically just in a circle and spamming teammate abilities. Very floaty. It just wasn't satisfying. You like the writing, the graphics, the characters. Yeah, the characters had a lot of character, but they're kind of one-dimensional. Like, they had a lot of character for a little while, and then it's like their whole point is just to be there to say like one-liners, and there aren't really a whole lot of different looks. Let's see what's happening here. Alright, so it looks like we cooled down that pit of hotness. Yeah, the characters are cool, but there's a time for like comedy and banter, and I don't know, I feel like they never really went beyond that. Like, I feel like the whole game was like a comic relief. Like, a lot of times in games or movies, there'll be a comic relief and, you know, some jokes, and I feel like that's what the whole game was. Peter Quill was cool. The graphics were good, I guess. There was a lot of detail. I just didn't think it was very fun, but everyone's got a different opinion. At least they made a Guardians of the Galaxy game for those who are big fans of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I always thought was kind of weird of a franchise, but oh well. Not everyone has to like everything. But you also don't need to try to assert your opinion over others as if it's the only one that is valid, like some people do. But yeah, I would take the Avengers game over Guardians of the Galaxy, just because it's so much funner. Yeah, like a certain someone. We don't need to mention names or anything. But when some people dislike a game, it's like, if you don't dislike it too, you're wrong. Gonna heal up here. See if we can take on this crazy dude. Alright, crazy dude is out of the picture. I don't know what waits for us over here, but we're about to find out. Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and it's good to have the players be satisfied. I like to see everyone be able to find something that they like and enjoy playing, even if it's not something that I like. I've always found it to be fascinating how different people, wow, that scared the shit out of me. Different people can respond to the same thing in different ways. Some people love a game, some people hate it. Even though it's the same experience, it's the same game, but people just kind of react to things differently. And that's what makes the gaming industry and the gaming community unique. It would be boring if we were all the same. Yeah, it definitely would. Good luck with the boss. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. I feel like I haven't even explored this area in its entirety. Crisp Blade. Another weapon. Let's see what that's all about. Looks like I may need a little bit more of something. Strength, dex, and I think that's possibly intelligence or magic. I need more magic. I need 16 magic. Mine is only at 8, so we got a while before we can use that effectively. A small ceremonial straight sword, etched with numerous ancient runes. This sword serves as a catalyst in occult rituals, amplifies the damage dealt and received by magic. Alright, that's cool. Maybe someday when we are sufficiently strong, we will be able to use that. Oh, and we got a great club. This thing will do some damage. No doubt about it. I need 59-15. Yeah, I've been playing this. I've been streaming this. I don't really play it when I'm not streaming. But I have been playing quite a bit of DS3 lately. And I'm almost at the end, I believe. I just got to the end of Archdragon Peak. But then I think I still have another optional boss there. But I think I'm on the final boss of DS3, so that'll be a big achievement to put that game in the books. I've been struggling off and on, coming back to it for so long. And so it'll be nice when I can finally say that I have finished it. Of course, in a Souls-like game, the end is really only the beginning when it comes to beating the game, because you really need multiple playthroughs to get the most out of it and to play in a different way. Maybe you want to focus on magic and all that sort of thing. So the end is really just the beginning in many games. Wow, this thing is powerful. Wow, one hit on the doggy at least. One hit on the doggy and 2 hits on the dude. Alright, we're gonna rest here and come back in. Yeah, we got about a month of peace and quiet without new games coming out. So hopefully we can all make the most of that precious time. Hopefully we can make the most of it, because who knows when it's gonna come around again. Yeah, I've been playing through Final Fantasy 14. I love how you can really choose your own adventure in that game. You can take on any quest, any activity at any time. And then the writing is like Nobel Prize worthy. You can play totally at your own pace. It's like a boundless adventure. A very long and huge adventure. Kind of intimidating, but I'm not going to worry too much about trying to rush through it. Taking your time is really important. When do you think support of Final Fantasy 14 will end? I mean, they're still supporting Final Fantasy 11. Maybe not with expansions, but you can still play it. So there's another expansion coming out this summer. So no time soon, most likely. I feel like I'm so far behind. I have beaten A Realm Reborn, I believe. I just haven't, I guess I haven't officially started. I'm not sure when the official beginning of Heavensward is. I just know I got to credits in A Realm Reborn. But I haven't continued with the MSQ too much. I started doing other jobs. Like you could never play the MSQ and still not run out of stuff to do. So yeah, it's really totally up to you how you want to play it. Completely completely open-ended, boundless. I'm just gonna take my time. I try not to rush it. I'll definitely not finish all the expansions leading up to, I think it's called Dawn something. I probably know highly doubtful that I will finish all of them up until then by that time, but maybe I'll finish one or two other ones. Just depends on how much I play it. Yeah, it's definitely a boundless adventure. It really defines choose your own adventure. Even though the story is fixed. Oh, that was cool. He like backed up and like slammed the ground. I want to know how he did that. Nice try, doggy. And then Tales of Arise, I'm pretty close to the end of. I've also struggled greatly to get into and enjoy that game. But I think I'm getting pretty close to the end. And I think I probably will finish it before too long. It'll be the first Tales of game I've beaten. You've got mixed feelings about Arise. Yeah, I've definitely got major mixed feelings about Arise. The combat is lit. Such a pretty game. Amazing combat. It's just kind of uneventful outside of that, and just a little bit uninteresting outside of combat. Like your party members are not visible outside of combat. Towards the end, I'll be getting pissed off. I mean, it just doesn't have a lot going on outside of combat. Your party members are not visible. They talk, you look around, there's no one there. I don't know, the world just isn't very interactive. So and it's just not really. A lot of the story is told through skits, and the skits in this game are just, they kind of remove you from the game, and they're just kind of hard to watch and sit through. They're kind of boring. And then there are some really impressive cinematic moments and cutscenes, but they're pretty rare. Nonetheless, I have come back to it. It's taken like 2 years or however long the game's been out for. Damn. Yo, this guy is getting a taste of his own medicine. I was knocking this guy right on his ass. I'm running out of this grass stuff. Damn. This dude flew way back. I want to parry this guy. Go ahead, buddy. There we go. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Damn. He put that club straight through him. Skits are definitely a major complaint. All character interactions are done with slideshow skits. Yeah, that it gets just difficult to sit through. It gets very tiresome. It gets very tiresome, and then when you want to just walk around and talk to people, you walk around, party members are not visible. When you do talk to someone, you're back to a skit. So, but the game is heating up. I mean, it is, I guess, there is a light at the end of the tunnel with how far I am, but still, I would take Scarlet Nexus any day. That game also is predominantly told with skits, and which is also my biggest complaint for that game. But the skits are a screenshot of like a cutscene. Now I don't know why they have screenshots of a cutscene and not just play the cutscene. Maybe 1% of the time it's an actual cutscene, but then it immediately goes back to a skit. What part am I on? I'm on Almydra when you're in the ship. And I'm about to do like a boss battle. I don't think it's against Almydra, but I think I'm on like... Yeah, I'm on the ship. And I think she's like the last one or something. One of the last ones. The story is very good. It's just presented in such a boring way. Now in Scarlet Nexus... Damn! Yeah, this club just knocks people so hard. Jeesh. And that was with one hand too. But Scarlet Nexus's skits are like like screenshots of a cutscene, and like you can tell like it would be a cutscene because the characters are like in motion and you have equipped gear and everything. So I wish they would just make the cutscene, but they don't. Nonetheless, it is a bit more entertaining. They make it as dynamic and fluid as possible while still being a skit. But then in Scarlet Nexus, like, the world is more interactive physically. You can jump around and just move around with a lot more freedom, and then your party members are visible. And it's just better. So, Tales of, I've never gotten too far in the franchise, but I'm starting to actually get somewhere with Arise. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back and finish Berseria someday, which I'm pretty far in, but have also not beaten.
Thou seekest the power of the soul, no? Then touch the demon inside. Soul of the mind.
I need 59:15.
Soul of the lost, withdraw. I shall await thy return, Slayer of demons.
I'm gonna level up this big old club.
I can forge weapons for you.
This big old Billy club. Possibly. It looks like I may not be able to upgrade the Great Club. I'm not sure why. I'm not seeing the Great Club listed here. Yo, what's up, Dwayne? Played GTA Online. Yeah, I've played GTA Online. A lot of times you get blown up by a hover bike or
No interest.
GTA Online is not really my thing.
You're not going to last long here.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch.
Yeah, GTA Online is... And then you need so much money to do anything. So... People don't grief anymore, not on current gen. Yeah, you still need like a lot of money to open businesses. I've had some good experiences like where you can get a posse and you can do like the package recovery. It can be cool. I don't know. It's just you just need so much money, and then you try to do those heists. Like I was doing the prison one, which I think you only qualify for certain ones depending on your rank, if I remember correctly. But that one, like, if people die too many times, you fail, and it just takes a long time, and it's difficult to pull off, and then you don't get too much money from it. So the whole thing is basically just a big money game, and you've got to just put so much time and effort into making money.
No interest, eh? I can tell you.
Prison Break Heist is old. Yeah, the game still just requires a lot of time and effort just to try to make money. You don't just run in, and it's hard to just drop in and kill some people. You got to have better weapons. And then you can start posses and be like a CEO and buy properties, and that's pretty cool, but I feel like you just got to put so much time and effort into making money. And like you can start the nightclubs, and there's a lot of options for that, but then you got to like upgrade it, and I don't know, it's just too focused on making money, and I just don't find it to be too fun. I just like story-driven stuff. The Dr. Dre expansion was very cool. Now, I was lucky enough to drop in to other players who had it. And so I did that part like when you're in the studio at the end a couple times. So I was fortunate enough to do that. I think one of them, like the person was almost done with it, and so I just dropped in then. And then I think another time I played either like the whole thing or most of it. But you've got to find someone, and to do it yourself, you've got to, I forget what the requirements are, but it was very long and arduous just to start it, or it took a lot of money. I don't remember, but I just remember saying like, oh, there's no way I'll actually be doing this myself. But it was very cool. So story-driven stuff is cool, but it's just behind like a lot of barriers, and you got to have a certain reputation or whatever it is in Los Santos and everything like that. You have to own an agency to start Dr. Dre. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Agencies are about 2 million. Yeah, that's kind of what I remember. Everything takes takes some millions of dollars. So I'm sure there are some good stories to be had, but it basically kind of just introduces a little story, but then really you realize that it's mainly focused on getting you to make money in order to progress it. It's not a story-driven game. GTA Online is not story-driven. It's got some story here and there as you go to kind of justify what you're doing. But mainly you're supposed to be grinding for money. And you do that with what I found to be rather inconvenient methods. Whether it's getting people together to do stuff, which ends up being kind of difficult to actually pull off. Come on, man, hit this dude. Fuck. I don't like how this push forward thing kind of that push forward triggers when I don't want it to sometimes. It does have a little bit of story sprinkled in, kind of like Red Dead Online, but you're mainly grinding, and like the way you link up with players is kind of unorthodox. Trying to get posses and be a CEO and everything. You got to do a lot of management and just grinding for money, and it's just not really something I want to focus on. Not my style. I'd rather just have something story-driven or just kind of single-player. Final Fantasy XIV is not single-player, but it kind of feels like it. Like the player and the adventurer is the whole focus. You feel like, or you can play with other people, but it's pretty straightforward. You just find a duty and everything like that, and you can easily just ignore that and kind of just do your own thing if you want to. So it's still highly story-driven. The point of GTA is to climb the criminal mastermind ladder. Yeah, I mean, that is the point, and that's the point of a live service game that takes place in a modern city. And they've done a great job at creating that kind of game and serving the fan base who is willing to do that. It's just not really my style. And GTA has never really been my style. I feel like San Andreas might have been if I played it back in the day, because that is a great game. It just doesn't hold up very well anymore. There's been a push by Rockstar to make GTA Online so friendly the last few years. Yeah, and they've made a huge push for GTA Online. Period. It's been a huge push and focus. But just not my style. I mean, maybe it's friendlier, but you're still going to be friendly in a friendly way, making a bunch of money. You know what I mean? It might be friendlier, but you're going to be a friendly businessman. Let me get this winged spear out. I'm mainly looking for story-driven, where everything kind of revolves around the player, rather than you've got to revolve around the game, you know what I mean, and like go to work. GTA Online is kind of like clocking in for work rather than like going on a big adventure or whatever, like 14 is. And there's a lot of stuff you can buy on the Mog Station, and like clearly everyone, so many players have optional purchases that they've made. The only time I've ever felt like that was necessary, or I wanted to buy anything with money, is just because I wanted stuff that other players had, like cosmetics and weapons and whatnot. But the game never asks you to actually spend any money, or even suggests that you should, other than being around other players who have trendy stuff that you may wish to have. But I like Rockstar. I think their favorite game of mine would be Max Payne 3, Masterpiece, or maybe Red Dead 2 would be very close. If they update Red Dead 2, that probably would take the top spot. GTA is just not my franchise. But hopefully, and I predict that probably will change with the next entry. Alright, we're going to head back to the Nexus. Maybe, let me go over here first. Am I going to play Suicide Squad? Absolutely. I definitely want to see what that game is about. And I have a hard time just looking at it as trash, or I don't know, I've never really lost hope too much in Suicide Squad, or it just still looks like it'll be a good game. I don't know, it looks like a fun game. It's supposed to be like an ever-evolving metropolis, and I would not mind having a live service game that fit my preferences, one that's a little bit more story-driven and not the current offerings, which I haven't really been able to get into. Man, I almost got wrecked by that rock. Will Suicide Squad succeed where all others have failed? That being the Avengers game and Gotham Knights. Which the Avengers game is not really a total failure, but nowhere near what it could have been. Excuse me. Nowhere near its potential. So like a live service superhero game. You think Gotham Knights is the best out of the three? Yeah, Gotham Knights is not as bad as everyone says. It's not trash. It does have some things going for it. The combat, namely, is quite fun. The combat is fun. The mystery that you're trying to figure out is pretty interesting, even if the story ends up being kind of stupid. It still has some of that like Batman intrigue, and it's not that bad. It's not great. it's not too bad. Can't believe the same people who made Deus Ex made the Avengers. Yeah. I mean, the Deus Ex is, I think, is a better game. They did a good job with the Deus Ex games. But Deus Ex, I feel like both Deus Ex games, like, as soon as the story gets started or gets going, like, the game is over. Like, the stories don't really go anywhere. Like, you're waiting the whole game for something really big to happen. You're waiting for a wow moment. And as soon as as it seems like the game is just kind of starts, like, it's over. And so, I don't know, their games are good, but they just were never really blew you away. And then they're like first person immersive simulators. Immersive sims, which don't have a ton of action and destruction. And so for them to go and make the Avengers, which is a much more free-flowing and a lot more movement and a huge adventure, it's not like it's... Damn. This poor dude. He was minding his own business. He was minding his own business. And he went ahead and took that shank. Mankind Divided right when it got really good. Yeah, they both did. They both kind of just ended all of a sudden. Like right when you would expect the beginning to happen, or, you know, the first part to be over with. Okay, now does the game start? Boom, over. But Mankind Divided, nonetheless, is a good game. It just kind of lacks energy, I feel like, and it's meant to be. I mean, it's an immersive sim. It's meant to be kind of real, like a real time. Everything is persistent type of game, but then you need good stories and good moments in the story. Adam Jensen is a great character. He's just not really in a great game that lets him really shine. It doesn't necessarily have to be this loud, like, rock concert. And Deus Ex is not going for that. But I think then you need to have, like, a slow burner story would be good that really, like, builds up to something. So it's slow, but it's just like nothing's burning. You know what I mean? It's a slow smoker. It's like when you're smoking something, but it never quite catches on fire. Deus Ex games are like that. They're not slow burners. They're slow smokers. You know what I mean? They're solid games, but it's not like, oh, Eidos Montreal, they made those, and then they made the Avengers game, but the Avengers game is so different. You know what I mean? And in a lot of ways, it does more than Deus Ex. So it's not like it shows the studio has gotten worse. You know what I mean? So it still has a lot of detail. I think they should make something else. I don't think I have any desire to see them try to improve a game like the Avengers. I would like them to go back to their bread and butter. Maybe not Deus Ex, but something similar. What about a Perfect Dark remake? I mean, it depends on who makes it. I mean, yeah, IDOS could pull off a Perfect Dark remake. That could be cool. You know what I mean? It could be a different genre. They might make it an immersive sim or RPG or whatever. If you think cyberpunk, and imagine that as like Perfect Dark or something. Like, what would Perfect Dark be in this day and age? What are we going to upgrade here for this boss battle? We're going to go ahead and do Dex, I think. All right, I'll be right back. I've got to mentally prepare. All right, I'm back. Let the preheating commence. Ah, nah, never that. Never that. The preheat. See, you gotta preheat a girl. You know what I mean? Like, girls, if you wanna take out a girl, you gotta preheat her. You know what I mean? You gotta, like, you're at the gym, for example. You're on a machine. You're next to a girl. She's got to be kind of preheated, and you got to break the ice and whatnot. The preheating you should be focused on is finding a girl to preheat or some shit like that. When did I first start preheating? Man, you're preheating when you're born, really. As your brain develops and as you get older, people are really in a preheating stage their whole life, starting from the beginning at least. Fucking preheating, man. See, some people need a lot of preheating, and some people are just kind of like a microwave. Damn. Big ass rocks and shit. Alright, let's give this old bossy a shot. This enemy over there tripping, attacking some freaking boxes and shit. I mean, people are preheating from the day they're born, really. Alright, here we go. Armor Spider. Oh my. Oh. He's got a pretty formidable... Oh shit. Damn. I don't know what I'm in. Spider webs? Come on, don't do this to me. So I try to roll, but because I'm all stuck in spider webs, he's just gonna stumble. See, that's what DS3 does, like when the enemies throw wax on you, and it's like you get punished for trying to roll. Like you try to roll, and you try to roll, and he just like stumbles. This is why you stopped playing. I mean, there's a lot of things in games that'll make you stop playing, but don't let that be the end of it. There's no such thing as permanently stopping playing. There's no such thing as permanently putting down a game. There's a lot of reasons you might stop playing, and there's different lengths of time you might stop playing for. And there's different reasons you might want to start up again. But don't let failure be final. You know what I mean? Failure is only final if you allow it to be. I didn't think I would come back to this game. I didn't think I would come back to DS3. Of course, there's multiple times, and I mean like multiple times. There's a bunch of times where I would say, okay, now I'm done. Now I'm not going to come back to it. And a lot of times, just over time, you eventually come back to it for different reasons. A lot of times, it's like I watch a video, or like Tales of Arise. I was listening to music on YouTube, and I watched the intro movie popped up, and that inspired me to get back on the game, and now I'm playing it again. Or even comments from other players, like a game you don't like, but then you'll see the community says like, oh, this game is so great. And then that'll make me think, maybe it is. Maybe I was just not really used to it, or gave up on it too soon. And a lot of times I find that that is the case, where I've just stopped playing too soon. Jeez. This thing doesn't have too much health. Man. What is this? I'm kind of fucking it up, but I'm just not healing fast enough. Oh, shit. Yeesh. So it spit out a whole bunch of oil and just lit it on fire. Alright, let's pull out the Greatly recover HP. Let's pull out the late moon grass. I think I don't have the correct grass. See, I can't access storage unless I go back to the place. Crescent moon grass doesn't really do too much, but oh well. That half moon grass is what you really want. But then I gotta go back there and farm for it. I need to get some kind of buff or something. Or I'll just use pine resin for my sword. Because I was doing tons of damage to it. And I think it went to the second phase after it started spitting out all that oil or whatever that was. I was doing damage to it though. Do I watch Spawncast podcast? No, I don't watch any podcasts. I don't really watch YouTube very much at all. I was using it pretty heavily for Japanese learning videos, but I'm taking a break on that for now. I think I've reached the end of what I would call like a phase of learning Japanese. I feel like I've gotten to like maybe phase 2, which means, jeez. Buff up this weapon here. Come on. Almost got it. Gotcha. Is that it? Demon vanquished. You shall obtain the demon soul. You have regained your body. This is way too many words. You've touched the mark of death itself. That is way too many words for such a crucial situation, and yeah. But I think they wanted to maintain the feel of the original game, and that's probably what the original game had, so that's what this game has. You plan on visiting Japan within the next 4 years? Alright, well, that's definitely good to have a plan. Yeah, you will probably be blown away by the difference in culture. That would be a very cool experience. Plenty of time to brush up on some Japanese. Archstone of the Armor Spider Demon. Below the smithing grounds of Stonefang, the tunnel city is is a system of pathways that gave the city its name. Legend has it that deep inside, beyond the molten swamps, is a grave for dragons. So a dragon grave. It's very interesting. My level is 31. Thought it was higher than that. But yes, my soul level is 31. Yeah, I need to go back and level. I just need a few more hundred. Come on, man. And then your body, whether you're in like body form, is like, oh shit, sheesh. Like you're gonna lose your body form so easily, like one death and you lose it, and you have to defeat a dragon or an archdemon, I mean, to get it back. Like, kind of dumb, gotta say. It's definitely super old school. But there are those stone things, though. Soul of the Armor Spider Demon. Consumed to gain a large number of souls. Certain demon souls transmute into magic, miracles, or weapons. Yeah, so we'll definitely go back and see what we can make out of that. There are those things, though, that will give you back your... Yeah, use in soul form to resurrect one's body. A stone of ephemeral eyes. So I guess there is that, but there's just so few of them. But oh well, that's just how the game is set up. Let me get my trusty mace back out. Oh, that dude hit me hard as shit. Violent, sheesh. Let me get off this great club. I wondered why I can't, man, this thing knocks him way down. Why I can't upgrade this club. You really do not get many souls from these enemies. Man, you get hurt bad from these guys. I need to put on my pine resin. Oh, can I put it on? I can't put it on with this thing. It must be some kind of special weapon. That must be why I can't upgrade it. Man, I'm about to die again. They hit super hard, even though they're kind of low-level enemies. And then they have a lot of health, and they don't yield very many souls. So basically, once again, just really old school. But anyways, so the tendency, I was reading an article about this, And I guess like the closer it is to white, the easier it is. And when you're in human form, it's your tendency is higher. And I guess, and then there's the character tendency and the world tendency. And I think when it's closer to black, like enemies are tougher. I don't know. This developer is all about vague and invisible mechanics. So that sparkling lizard thing is just always there. It's not just a one-time. Guess it's not just a one-time thing. I'd like to use some magic, but... So this is a wand. Okay, so instead of a staff, you have a catalyst. What is this? Touch soul sign? I can summon a guy. I guess so. Let's just see. So it's a wand, not a staff. That's different. You don't have wands in the other games. That's the first time I've seen a soul sign. Have I beaten Neo 2? No. No, I didn't get too far in Neo 2. I'm done with Neo. I got pretty far in Neo 1. That's the furthest I've gotten. Neo 2, I think, is better because... Oh, what is this? Little cart coming along. So that's why there are two of them last time. And when you get close enough, that thing starts to go off. And you better get back. Neo, I have a hard time with that, with the gameplay. Like, you can never roll around, you can never roll out of the way, you can never dodge, I feel like. And then you're always... Oh, shit. And then you're always stuck. Or, like, you can't move for different reasons. You run out of key. Right. You run out of key, you can't move. You get paralyzed, you can't move. You get frozen, you slow way down. You get electrocuted, you can't move. I feel like I can just never roll out of the way and just move like I want to. You're playing it right now. It's hard as fuck, but you want to finish it. Yeah, you got to manage your ki so carefully, and you have to always in Souls games, but come on, little thing. You kind of don't like it, but you're an anime sucker. It has highlights. It does have some highlights and some really wow moments in the combat, especially when you pull off like weapon combos, like the dual swords. I got really into, and how you can do, like, you can do an attack and then you can do a key pulse and like switch stance and it'll do a combo or something, and then you can switch to another stance, and that is really cool. How there's a lot of player control over the combat. Here we go with another one, bitches. And these guys and their bomb throwing, dude. Listen to him. Official's clothes. Man, this game and its weight limit, bro. I understand equip burden, but just the overall limit, and then you got to press options to send it to your inventory, which can only be accessed at the Nexus. How do I put on these clothes? Official's leggings. The uniform is said to have been resented by the masses as a hateful reminder of them. Fat ministers who appeared just before demons ran rampant in Boletaria and ingratiated themselves with King Alat, oppressed the masses with sly grins. just before demons ran rampant in Boletaria. Does have a little bit more flame protection. Yeah, there's upgrades where you finish a combo and then like you do a key pulse, right, and it recovers extra key after you do an attack, but then there's one where you can switch stances with a key pulse and it recovers more. Or like you do an attack and then you can do like key pulse, switch stance, and then like do another one and go to like a third stance. And then you can keep doing attacks, and it's really cool. Or like the swords have different ones, and some of them are kind of tricky to pull off. But they're fun. They're fun once you do. It's just like enemies kind of ignore everything. Even really powerful attacks, they kind of just ignore and just face tank. And they just kind of blow right through them. And you just don't have that, like, I can never seem to get like a nice flowing combat. And in other Souls-like games, you have such smooth, flowing combat, and Neo just doesn't really provide that. But it does have some nice moments. You kind of have to set it up. You got to pull off your combos and key pulses and everything just right. Like there's weapon switch combos where like you switch weapons during a key pulse. And oh, what do we have here? Yeah, we're not going to mess with that thing. And doing that, we'll do a combo. Some of the combos are very cool, but you got to like set everything up so carefully. And then there's like amulets and everything to buff up your character. But like you've got to do so many of them constantly to really stand a chance. And like even after you've leveled up quite a bit, like basic enemies will still kind of just roll you. You get wiped pretty easily by kind of a low-level enemy, and they just don't really react to powerful attacks too well. But the ninjutsu is cool, like when you can do like bombs and shit that you can throw at enemies. There's a lot of different attacks and everything, but you got to really tinker around and kind of get it set up right. Like there's too much setting up, and it's got to be all done perfectly. And then you can fall in the water. You can fall off cliffs. And I don't know, it's just not smooth enough, and I just have a hard time with the combat and movement and everything. There is kind of a story. I do like the story with William and what he's trying to accomplish. And then I like the Guardian Spirit and the different Guardian Spirits you can use. But you don't get to do it that often, and so there's a lot of detail, like the Japanese heritage and everything, and the Onmyo. The boss battles were great. I really enjoyed the boss battles. All the bosses fight very uniquely. No two are the same. But like you spend so much time in the inventory kind of, you want to sell stuff or like you get so many of the same weapon and you have hundreds of inventory items and you're just spending so much time in Neo tinkering around with different stuff, different pieces of gear and using the right amulets and ninjutsu and all that other stuff, and so it just doesn't come together. And then Neo 2, I got a little ways and it is better, like you can turn into a yokai, which is really cool. And then you have more powerful weapons. You have like the Switchglaive is a new weapon to Neo 2. That's really cool. It's kind of inspired by like the trick weapons in Bloodborne. We're gonna bump up our HP.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. Art thou finished?
Alright, let's see what that soul thing can do. I don't know where I need to go to use it. And then there's like the Odachi, I think, the huge sword. That's pretty powerful. And then there's still like hammers and stuff. So some of the stuff is pretty strong. But I could still see that Neo 2 is still just the follow-up to Neo, and so I just decided it wasn't really, still not really my style. So I didn't really push too hard into Neo 2. And then Wo Long, I didn't get too far. That game is, again, I can't roll. I feel like I can't move out of the way well enough, and Wo Long kind of sucks. Like, I don't know how the graphics are so bad. So I'm going to definitely check out Way of Ronin. I feel like this is the game they really have been wanting to make. But I've never beaten a Team Ninja game. And when I stopped playing Neo, I wasn't even on a boss. I was just at the beginning of a new level, and like I just wasn't really seeing like an overall point. Like the game just doesn't really come together or amount to too much more than just these one-on-one combat encounters, which are not all that smooth and enjoyable. So whatever, it's just not my style. Door to Pantheon. Hard Demon Soul. So let's see how to use it. Since I don't know which character I would, it may be the guy who can forge stuff. This game is set up kind of differently. It kind of makes me want to play Dark Souls 2 I'm not sure if I would go back to Dark Souls 2. So 1 and 2 I haven't touched at all. Once I finish 3, maybe I will. But seeing as how it took so long to get through 3, years of picking it up and putting it down, I'm not sure. But maybe now I'm kind of more used to Dark Souls. I don't know. Alright, can you forge?
Your souls.
Repair, upgrade, purchase.
What's the hurry? Where are you off to?
Can she do it?
If you are attacked by a demon, you will lose your humanity. What a horrible thought. Just what would happen then? I simply cannot fathom it. Massa.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna need to look it up. Hard Demon Soul. It can be given to Blacksmith Ed along with a short bow +7 to create the lava bow. Hard Demon Souls can be traded to Sage Freck for this spell Fire Spray. Hard Demon Souls can be traded to Uria, the Witch, for the spell Ignite. Alright, well, I don't have... I think Blacksmith Ed, yeah. Along with a short bow +7 to create the lava bow. That's very specific. Uria the Witch, I don't think I have her. Sage Freck. I don't think we've gotten these people.
My Granvy often visits most of them had them.
Let's see. I don't even have a bow.
It's something trade your souls.
Blacksmith Baldwin. Yeah, I think Ed was that other guy in the mining area. So like, even after playing this much, you still cannot cast spells. But that is just the game that we are playing. Let me go ahead and repair this spear. And I still can't upgrade that club.
You come back alive. I need your business.
Let's see if we can progress through here now that we have done something. A thick, colorless fog holds you back. Only those who have slain an archdemon may pass beyond this point. I guess I haven't slain an archdemon. So, back to the mines, I guess we shall go. I gotta risk losing my human form. Yeah, this is definitely an old game. Based on one. I'm wondering if I should... Let's go to a new area. Let's just see what happens. Archstone of the Tower Queen. Latria. Land of the Queen's Ivory Tower. A vengeful old man claimed the Queen's life and imprisoned any remaining royalty. The prison echoes with the resentful cries of its inmates, tormented by their inhuman guards. Let's just check this place out and see what it's all about. Shall we? Prison of Hope. I have a feeling it's going to be anything but. What's up, guys? Looks like they are stuck. Sorry, can't help you just yet. Got some movement over here. Don't know what all this stuff is. Damn! Oh no. Come on. Don't be doing that. Alright, let me go ahead and poke. Jeesh! Wow. I don't know what this is. I don't like it. Fresh spice. I feel like this game would have done well. Okay, well this opens. This game would do well as a live service game, I feel like, because it has nice visuals and gameplay, but just nothing really happening. I feel like this could have been a good looter game or something. Or maybe one that's just totally focused on co-op. Like, you get to a new area, there's not really any sort of introduction. We got a key. Wizard's clothes. Okay, so now it looks like we have a wizardly area. But I've got to worry about my weight limit once again. I guess it got sent to the item box. The lights are on, but there's definitely nobody home in Demon Souls. Shit, man, come on. I definitely want to be able to cast. Every one of these has a cell, like... Ah, boy. I gotta worry about my body disappearing and shit. Boy. All right. And now we have another key. Prison Hope. 3rd floor key. Prison of Hope. I wouldn't say this is all a very hopeful place, but that's what it's called. Mercury Stone Shard. Alright, well, I guess we're on the 3rd floor. You gonna kill me? Man, look at the faces. Oh, look at them. It looks like they are not violent. Just want to get away. You guys can go. Be on your way. Poor souls. So they actually stay behind you. It's kind of strange. Yeah, it's definitely strange. Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at them. Wow, those faces look really good. Especially for being like the sprite. The field model. Man, look at that. So much expression. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to lead them somewhere. Knowing From Software, you probably get something for rescuing all of them. It just isn't clear what. Alright, well we've... Whoops. Okay, just went ahead and lit that inadvertently. Augite of Guidance. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Late Moon Grass. Guess we'll just stick with that. And let's see what we have in here. Nothing. We're gonna keep these guys alive. I like them in a very weird and creepy way. They're such strange things. We'll just call them the things. Come here, things. Oh, these are some unfriendly things. You guys are giving the friendly things a bad name. Uh-oh. We got friendly things or bad things? We got a friendly thing. Even though they don't look very friendly. I don't know how well you can see this on the stream, but on my TV is extremely creepy. Don't worry, buddy. I won't kill you. Does it matter what order you go to the other realms? It doesn't really seem like it does. This game is set up differently. You can just kind of jump into any realm instead of playing through in a linear fashion. I really would like to learn some magic, and I think this is the place to do it. I think you need to get to a sage or whatever the magic people are in this game. Probably bring them back to the Nexus. Hand over a document or a soul and go ahead and learn some shit. Play Jedi Survivor on Grandmaster. Yeah, story mode was more my speed in Jedi Survivor. Whoa, please help me. I put it on story mainly because it's just such a big game. And it takes so long to explore everything. That's what I was focused on. Hey, bucko. I'm gonna keep all my friends here alive. These are my friends. These are good people. Nothing untoward needs to beseech them. Nothing bad needs to be done to them. They're doing just fine. Jedi Survivor. I love Jedi Survivor. It's just so big, and my main focus. Oh, see, we got a bad thing here. Sorry to the good things, but I had to kill the bad thing. And that is why you accidentally got treated like a bad thing. My main focus was exploring the galaxy and reaching new areas. And I wanted to 100% explore. What is this? Welcome to the danger zone. An archstone right here. Oh, I guess this is the beginning. Alright, things. It's time for you to die. Sorry, things. The enemy encounters were kind of an afterthought, which is kind of cool. Like, the combat is so good in Jedi Survivor. I love the game. I love that game. It's just how fluid Cal Kestis is. But the traversal is also so good. And that was equally fun. Let's see what we got here. And so I mainly wanted to do that, and that already took so long. And then getting upgrades and everything, and yeah, different like lightsabers and unlocking the chests. I wanted to do all of that. So it just took time, and I only played on story mode, even though it got really easy. I wish that there was a mastery upgrade, because like I have so many skill points that there's literally nothing I can do with them. I've upgraded every last thing after I think I've beaten it twice. I'm on my third playthrough, but even like before the end of my second, I pretty much had surplus. Even like your first playthrough, if you do a lot of extra stuff and do everything, you can definitely max it out in one playthrough. And I wish they clearly just didn't really think about endgame too much. Man, look at all these things. These poor things are beyond saving. Like, it's no better outside of your cell than in it, guys. These poor things. I guess it was some witch or queen or some asshole that imprisoned all these guys in here. I'm not sure what the story is. But look at this place. I wonder if you go outside of it. It could definitely have used some kind of mastery upgrade system. Prison of Hope West, 4th floor. But anyways, hopefully there'll be DLC for the game. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for now. I think this is going to be a strictly streaming only game, because there's like nothing going on in this game really other than just killing some enemies. And some of the limitations are clearly from a bygone era. But the good news is that you guys won't miss anything. So I probably will just be streaming only. Maybe next time I'll play one of those other games you guys suggested. We'll see. But until next time, Happy New Year. Keep gaming. And have a great night, everybody.